Borana are a pastoralist ethnic group living in southern Ethiopia and northern Kenya in parts of Isiolo, Marsabit and Moyale. The Borana are one of the resulting groups of Oromo migrants who left the southern islands of Ethiopia in 1500 BC. The Boran speak Borana, a dialect of Oromo language which is part of the Cushitic branch of the Afro-Asiatic family of languages. Dibaayu is an annual ceremony that showcases and defines the cultural identity and indigenous belief system of the Boran people. This ceremony is held after the long rains as a thanksgiving for their abundance and also for prayers to protect them from any calamities in the future. This ceremony is done at Bururi Uran in Sololo Marsabit County. The site lies in a vast sacred area where other important sacred sites like the sacred grave of Borunoko is located, and also where the Gadamoji shaving ceremony, which only happens after 8 years, is held. The ceremony is a 3-day-long activity with distinct and equally significant rituals and a complex belief system. The inception is the Dibaayu, followed by the Ulugo, passing through the path, and finally the Buluk ceremony, traditionally prepared maize that is done on the last day. Mzekosi Adi, who is from Karayu Kiche's sub-clan, heads the ceremony. In case of his absence, any other member from his clan can preside over the ceremony. Dibaayu is a curtain raiser done on the 3rd day of the 6th month of the year after sighting of the new moon. 7 elders under leadership of Mzee Kosi Adi perform the Dibaayu. Early at dawn, each of the 7 elders will do certain rituals at their homes before they all converge at Mzee Kosi's house. They will then proceed to Bururi Uran site where prayers are done. At the Bururi Uran, they do pray as they soothe the branches with fat and milk. When all of the 7 elders come back to the homestead donned in the attractive traditional regalia of roof, ororo and lichu, they pass through the cattle boma entering from the right side while singing. They walk in a straight line with Mzee Kosi at the front. They will go around and come back again, passing through the cattle boma. They then head to Mzee Kosi's house, but they are not allowed to enter immediately till after Mzee Kosi has performed certain rituals inside. In the house, the wife prepares a mixture of milk and idi branches on a traditional stool, then positions herself in one corner of the house. Mzee Kosi enters and washes his face with the milk that's prepared for him, signaling a go-ahead for the wife to come out from the corner she had placed herself. After this is done, the other 6 elders are now allowed to come in. They leave their ororo at the entrance of the house and go in one after the other to perform certain rituals. They place themselves on a mat which was already prepared for them. Once inside, they all remove their shoes while seated, since the house is now regarded as a sacred ground. The woman of the house then prepares coffee berry and keeps it in kori, a kind of bowl used for this occasion. She then pours it in a mug and gives it to her husband, who upon receiving blesses the occasion with prayers, after which she proceeds to give each elder, who will in return bless her. Prayer will then be said to bless all humanity and the environment. The elders will then come out in a sequence as they pick their ororo, marking the end of the 1st day event of the Dibaayu. On the 2nd day is the Uluko. This is the most important day of the ceremony where young and old, male and female, come out in large numbers to attend the ceremony, which is done at Dibaayu Uran. Men take ororo and licho as women carry sike and saka. Girls wear sabat on their head and children carry small gourd with milk as they all head to the site. As women head straight to the site, men proceed to the dam where cattle usually drink from. At the Uluko, hand harak tree is used as poles on both ends. Galjila is placed on the floor of the entrance, on which cattle will pass over as they pass through Uluko. On both sides of the Uluko, 4 girls hold 4 sheep. When cattle pass through Uluko, they wave rough, saying hora, hora, to bless the herd to increase in number and be healthy. Women who come in their numbers bring milk in okole, a traditional gourd, and upon reaching the site they do certain rituals of smearing tree bark with fat as they offer prayers for their myriads of needs. They will then patiently, like their male counterparts, wait for the cattle to pass through the Uluko. As the norm, the cattle of Mzee Kosi, the leader of the occasion, will go through Uluko first and others follow. The passage was cheered hora hora, meaning multiply, echoing the words of girls on each side of Uluko. The blessing mood engulfs the place as all surround the Uluko getting feel of the prayers. The owner of the herd follows his or her cattle through the Uluko with his bare feet as a sign of respect. After the Uluko is done and every herd has passed through, women proceed to Bururi to lay branches, put coffee berries and tobacco and smear fat on it as a sacrifice to pray and get blessings. They then converge to start singing karile, songs praising men, and fine tunes of traditional Borana genre. Now women and children leave as the Uluko is over, while elders remain behind to wrap up with final rituals. Elders settle under Bururi tree pronouncing Tesi Tesonaga, shoes off with okole, tobacco, coffee berries and fat. One after the other offer prayer smearing fat on the branch and back of Bururi, laying branches of Eid, putting tobacco and coffee under the Bururi. Upon each elder making prayer, Mzee leads the joint prayer to bless the day's activities. They leave some meters away and sit down to observe a ritual to symbolize blessing of rain. Here, they squat and pretend to urinate while holding their private parts, shouting lolas. Then they leave the site singing Roban Sigale. In the evening before sunset, women fetch gale and a gomti tree to take home. They then place them on each side of the cattle boma and homestead. Gale is also laid on the entrance as a sign of blessing the boma and the cattle. This is done by women only. Late in the evening, when the cattle come back to the boma, another ritual is performed. The kraal is enclosed by the firstborn of the family, and all milk that had remained during the day's ceremony will be poured on to the largest bull in the boma, also known as korm in Borana. If the boma has no korm, the milk is poured at the center of the boma, since the entire ceremony is done for livestock and signifies the large quantity of milk which they expect to collect after the prayers. In the evening, women prepare buluk, which is a mixture of fresh maize and millet. This will be cooked overnight in preparation of next day's buluk ritual. Buluk is observed on the third day. Fire is lit very early in the morning at the cattle boma, with the herd still in the boma. Then buluk, which was cooked overnight, is brought and placed on the fire, and the fat on top is removed gently using cooking spoon and given to Mzee Kosi, who applies on his navel and that of his children. He then applies it on butume, a traditional door, for the cattle boma and also to the largest bull inside the boma, before doing the same to the remaining herd as a sign of blessing them all. Then buluk is added urgo, milk and oil. The first wife always does buluk preparation, but if it is a polygamous family like it is in the case of Mzee Kosi, other wives will just be present to help if need be, but don't fully take charge. A mat, usually made of animal skin, is brought and laid on the right-hand side of the cattle boma, used by women to sing on. Afterwards, cow dung is brought and kept on the right-hand side of the fire. It is spread to form a flat shape and buluk is poured on it before anyone is given to eat. A call will then be made by the head of the house to neighbors and people around to come and eat buluk. He will then sit at the right-hand side and buluk served to him first. After he is served, other people present are also given their share. All people eating the buluk are not supposed to clear everything in their plates. The remains are collected in a bowl to be preserved for women who will eat them through the day, since men are forbidden to eat the remains of buluk. Men are not allowed to eat leftovers. It is a taboo. The wife will then crack coffee berries using her teeth, wash them and puts them in a pot, then places them on fire and adds cooking oil to fry them until they are ready. It's then kept in a kori, a traditional wooden bowl with milk. Then the senior most of the people present is served first. Before anybody is served, the ready berries are poured on the cow dung by the fireplace to bless the ancestors. The firstborn is then given a small coffee in a kori cup, which he uses to smear on butume of the bull. After this, the woman of the house will serve others, who then apply it on their forehead and have a sip of it. After everybody gets a share of the coffee, women start singing on the already laid animal skin, signaling the release of the herd for grazing, after which the cattle will be sent out for grazing. Women will be singing throughout the day in their homes and in groups. They consume the buluk, left by name, as they sing karile, songs which are sung in praise of men, and cattle songs until late in the evening when the ceremony officially comes to closure. The Borans are traditionalists, fully integrated in their society, and they live their life celebrating in their rituals and songs, in peace with their kingfolks and awaiting nature's gifts.